There's another story when my husband was beginning to have serious doubts about the religion, and I was suspecting as much. We visited his super zealous parents who were pioneering in a tropical country. Okay, got to pause here for a second to explain to a lot of you what pioneering is. Pioneering is a term used to explain your level of devotion to the Christian ministry. And when I was growing up, I had to choose 1 month out of the summer, July or August, didn't matter, to auxiliary pioneer. There's auxiliary pioneer, there's regular pioneer, special pioneer. Auxiliary pioneer has to put in 60 hours of Christian ministry in 1 month, which when you're a teenage kid and that's how you're spending half your summer, I did not look forward to summer. The school year was brutal enough. I was trying to keep a low profile, not let anybody know that I was Jehovah's Witness, despite all the birthday parties, school dances, sports activities, all these things I had to avoid while not wanting to out myself as a Jehovah's Witness. And then come summertime, I'm out banging on people's doors, being like, hey, look who it is. It's me, your friendly Jehovah boy. So summer was a fucking nightmare. Wasn't even something I looked forward to. So I had to auxiliary pioneer. It goes up through the ranks all the way to a missionary. A missionary is the most elite type of pioneer. A missionary is someone who volunteers to go out in the Christian ministry in countries and various regions of the world where Jehovah's Witnesses have not yet been introduced. So the Watchtower, Bible and Tract Society, the headquarters, the governing body, whatever you want to call them, they are like, hey, we have 8 million people. We have 8 million members worldwide, but there's still these little pockets that have never heard the truth. They've never heard the good news of God's kingdom. We need to put boots on the ground in Mozambique or Papua New Guinea or wherever the fuck it may be. They send them all over the fucking world. And so these missionaries volunteer to be sent wherever they're told. It's a roll of the dice. They don't know where they're going to be sent. They basically put their name in a hat, and then they write down a bunch of countries on some other scraps of paper, throw those in a hat. I'm sure they have a less antiquated system than that. But I think you understand my point. It's completely chosen at random who goes to what country. So it's a total crapshoot, and you could luck out. You could wind up, spending a year in a beachside bungalow in Aruba, or you could spend a year sleeping on a dirt floor in Rwanda. You never know. You're volunteering to be sent wherever they tell you to go. And I've seen both sides of the coin. I've seen a couple missionaries come back, with bleach blonde hair, suntan, looking so refreshed after spending a year in the Bahamas. Like, how was missionary service? Like, man, it was irie. Kept it real irie. They're fucking blissed out. They just had the best year of their life. But I also saw people come back from remote, war-torn regions of Africa who were shell-shocked husks of their former selves. Terrified. They were like nom-vets. You'd walk past a construction site, a jackhammer would go off, and they would jump out of their fucking skin thinking there was, a rebel soldier uprising. So, scary shit. You never know where you're going to go. So, looks like Lloyd's... My husband was beginning to have serious doubts about the religion. I was suspecting as much. We visited his super zealous parents who were pioneering in a tropical country. Okay, so sounds like they hit the jackpot. They won the lottery. They got to go to a tropical country. That's cool. Okay, so the four of us went for dinner, and I tried a locally brewed alcohol. Like most witnesses, I could hold my liquor. I don't know what boozehound witnesses you're hanging out with, but sounds like fun. All the J-dubs I knew, they were on the floor after 2 Michelob Ultras. These drinks were something different. After only 2 small drinks, I found myself in the bathroom with another woman who had tried the local brew, and neither of us could remember how a faucet worked. The next thing I remember was my tearful admission to my in-laws. I'm worried he's losing his faith. He even bought RRSPs. Now, I didn't even know what RRSPs were. I had to look this up. Registered Retirement Savings Plan. Goes to show you, once again, I am not an adult. Nobody ever told me about this. Sounds like a good thing to have. Lloyd continues, to the shock in their faces, you would have thought I just told them their son was the Zodiac killer. Their son was no longer demonstrating his faith in the coming new system by having zero retirement plan. This could only be the work of Satan. This is an interesting point because Jehovah's Witnesses are encouraged to scrape by with blue-collar, minimum-wage jobs, not only because minimal demand in the workplace means increased demand in the faith, more time to devote to the ministry, going to meetings, whatever it may be. It's a full-time job being a witness. But also because they buy into the concept of you can't take it with you. And they believe there's no reason to squirrel money away and plan for the future when the end is near. Even though they've falsely predicted Armageddon for 100 years, they still maintain that the end is near. So there's no need to plan for the future. Put your faith in Jehovah. He'll provide for you in the future because all this evil that you see in the world will be obliterated and you'll be saved. You'll live forever on a paradise earth. So there's generations of Jehovah's Witnesses who have died old and penniless because they have put their faith in something that never happened. It's tragic. So basically, they're saying if you really had faith in the coming new system, you wouldn't be caught up in material security.